unraveling the mysteries of the heart. Ah, the intricate tapestry of human connection and emotion. It's a delightfully complex enigma that weaves through the very fabric of our lives, isn't it? Today, dear friend, we embark on a journey to uncover how to turn an avoidance fear of intimacy into lasting love. Intriguing, isn't it? Fear, after all, is such a curious thing. It grips us, molds us, and yet if we dare to face it, it can be transformed into something quite extraordinary. Imagine, if you will, a grand piano. Its keys, much like the nuances of human emotion, range from the softest whispers to the most thunderous roars. Now, picture yourself as the composer of a delicate symphony, where the notes are the emotions of an avoidant soul. Your task is to create harmony from what seems like discord. But before we begin, let us first understand the origin of our symphony's more elusive notes. The avoidant, dear viewer, is like a turtle snugly ensconced in its shell. A creature wary of vulnerability, they have spent a lifetime perfecting the art of self-protection. You may be wondering why. Well, the answer often lies in the shadows of their past. A history marked by unmet needs, emotional turbulence, or perhaps a sense of abandonment. It's a tale as old as time, one that echoes through the corridors of our collective experience. In my youth, I once encountered a man named Edward. Edward, you see, was a master at the art of evasion. He danced around intimacy with the grace of a seasoned performer, never allowing anyone too close. His story, like many others, was etched with the scars of a childhood that had taught him to equate closeness with pain. One might say he was the Houdini of emotions, escaping the chains of connection with ease. But what Edward, and indeed many avoidants, do not realize is that their fear of intimacy is not an impenetrable fortress, but rather a carefully constructed veil. And like any veil, it can be lifted, not forcibly, mind you, but with patience and understanding. The key lies in fostering an environment where trust and safety flourish, much like a gardener tending to a delicate bloom. To transform fear into love, one must begin with the gentle art of observation. Observe how an avoidant partner responds to vulnerability. Do they recoil at the slightest hint of emotional depth, or do they inch closer, albeit cautiously? This is your compass, guiding you through the uncharted waters of their emotional landscape. Remember, dear viewer, patience is your most valuable ally. In the not-too-distant past, I had the pleasure of knowing a young woman named Clara. Clara was the epitome of warmth and kindness, yet she found herself entangled in a relationship with an avoidant partner. Her heart, though tender, was resolute, and she embarked on a mission to nurture their connection. She understood that her partner's fear was not a rejection of her, but rather a reflection of his own internal struggles. With grace and empathy, she created a space where he could express himself without fear of judgment. Clara's journey was not without its trials, for the road to intimacy is often paved with challenges. Yet she discovered that by listening, truly listening, she could uncover the roots of his apprehension. They spent hours sharing stories of their pasts, weaving a tapestry of understanding and shared experiences. Slowly, the walls he had built began to crumble, revealing glimpses of the love that lay beneath. In our pursuit of lasting love, it is essential to remember that communication is the lifeblood of any relationship. But communication, dear viewer, is not merely the exchange of words. It is the sharing of one's soul. Encourage the avoidant to express their thoughts and feelings, and when they do, listen with an open heart. For it is in these moments of vulnerability that true connection is forged. One must also consider the importance of boundaries. An avoidance fear is often exacerbated by the perception of being overwhelmed or smothered. Respect their need for space, For it is within this space that they find the freedom to explore their emotions. Paradoxically, it is through this freedom that they may eventually choose to draw closer. Let me regale you with a tale, a delightful anecdote, if you will, of a gentleman named Charles. Charles had long been wary of love, having witnessed the dissolution of his parents' marriage at a tender age. He entered relationships with trepidation, ever wary of the pain that intimacy might bring. However, he met a woman named Eleanor, whose gentle spirit and steadfast patience began to thaw the ice around his heart. Eleanor understood the dance of intimacy, a delicate waltz that requires both partners to move in harmony. She did not rush him, nor did she demand more than he could give. Instead, she created a sanctuary of trust where he could explore his feelings without fear of reprisal. Through her unwavering support, Charles learned that love is not a chain that binds, but rather a tapestry that unfolds with time. As we delve deeper into the realm of intimacy, let us not forget the power of self-reflection. For an avoidant, the journey to love often begins within. Encourage them to explore their own emotions, to confront the ghosts of their past, and to embrace the healing power of self-compassion. It is through this introspection that they may come to terms with their fears and ultimately find the courage to open their heart. In closing, dear viewer, the transformation of an avoidant's fear of intimacy into lasting love is not a task for the faint of heart. It requires patience, empathy, and a steadfast commitment to nurturing the seeds of trust. Yet the rewards are immeasurable, a love that is profound, enduring, and deeply fulfilling. As you embark on this journey, remember that love is not a destination, but a journey, a winding path that weaves through the peaks and valleys of the human experience. Embrace the journey, savor each moment, and let the symphony of love play on. For in the end, it is love that binds us, enriches us, and gives our lives meaning. Until we meet again, dear friend, may your heart be open, your spirit resilient, and your love everlasting.
If you believe this video might help someone dear to you, share it with them. A small gesture on your part could mean the world to a friend in need.